I'm Steph from Stitching with Steph, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a stitch with me. It is an unbranded canvas. I call this one my butterfly anime girl. She has she is 11 count, 40 by 50 centimeters, and 35 colors. I do not have a link for this particular canvas as it's been in my stash for a while. So we are going into week 3 for this stitch with me. If you are a subscriber, thank you for coming back with another stitch with me today. I really appreciate you coming and hanging out with me and chit-chatting in the comments or in the Facebook group. If you're not a subscriber and you like this type of content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you like this type of image or these canvases, go ahead and hit that like button. Lastly, like I mentioned, my Facebook group, if you're new here or you haven't gone and joined, I do have a group for all of us in this little stitching community that we have. It is Stitching with Steph. I do have a link down in the description box below. You can go ahead and post pictures or anything like that that you would like in there, as well as if you want to be spotlighted in any of my videos, upcoming videos for the next week, go ahead and put it in the group chat in Facebook, or you can go ahead and send me a viewer submission through the email that's listed in the description box that says viewer submissions. Let's go ahead and dive into this week's week 3 stitch with me for our butterfly anime girl. All right, so for this week's stitch with me, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to continue with this blue dot symbol, and it is this color blue. And it is the same as last week, so it's number 18 on our legend, and it is DMC 825. So, like I said, I'm really focusing on my husband's birthday gift, so any progress on any of these canvases will pretty much be made with you guys stitching with me. So it's just going to be a little project we're doing together with all of my Stitch with Me's for a while. The only other one that I am doing outside of my husband's birthday project is my traditional, not my traditional, my large koi project. So yeah, that's the only other one I'm doing right now. It's just because I really just want to get that project done so I can get it framed and stuff for his birthday. So yeah, that's my main reason behind it. I'm going to move you guys over to the left a little. There we go. So after we're done with this color, I mean, as you can see, I don't have very much thread left, so hopefully I'll be able to get to all of these down here. And the printing is awful, so this one goes here, here, here. Okay. Did anyone do the Star Wars stuff this past weekend? Anyone fans of Star Wars? We did. We sat around, I literally stitched on my large koi project all weekend. And then I sat there and watched the Star Wars event. They say May the 4th be with you, right? Instead of May the Force be with you. So we watched that on, I think it was FX. I'm pretty sure that's where it was, to be honest. Because they did even like Family Guy special, and then they did Simpsons, where they did it if it was a Star Wars themed episode. Anything Star Wars, it was on this weekend. So that was pleasurable. That was nice for my husband and I to sit back and just kind of veg out and watch some Star Wars, and I got to cross stitch and he just got to enjoy his show. Well, movies and all those things. I have some diamond paintings that are Star Wars that I got done of like Darth Vader and Yoda and stuff like that. We have those hung up. I don't think I have anything cross-stitched, to be honest, now that I think about it. Probably for copyright reasons that they're hard to come across. No biggie. Eventually, if a company was to come out with them, maybe we would be able to get them then, right? One day. One day, one day. And as you guys can see, I am stitching. I've decided to go ahead and start doing my stitch with me's on frames, so that way there's not so much moving around for you guys, and I can get a little bit more progress done, because I can get more progress done with my stitch with me's if I'm on a frame. It's just easier for me, and I don't end up getting knots as much, so that's why I was like, I'll just start doing this, and actually it's not too bad. I'm really enjoying it. Should have did this sooner. I'm on some adjustables, as you can see. They're like arms that hold my Q-snap in place. It's not like my fixed stand, my floor stand. These are like anchored onto my table. So they work really good. As you can see, I can move like from side to side if I need to. It's kind of nice. Kind of nice, I won't lie. Unless you go and hit it on accident and you knock your stitching out of frame. So I have right here, as I look up, I have huge monitors that I can see my live feedback for you guys. So that's why most of the time stuff is in frame, because I'm consistently checking my feedback to make sure that my recording quality is better and stuff like that, good old recording stuff for you guys. Again, this is all new to me. I haven't been doing this for very long. If I was doing this for years, I would hope to be better at it, but I'm learning as I'm going. No big deal. You see how fast this goes now with these like little frames? Yeah. So if you're interested, I will put a link in the video of where I got them from. I think I got them from Amazon. That way you guys can kind of take a look at what I'm using. Yeah. As you can see, it goes a lot faster now versus when we're stitching by hand. I might want to do a different color just so I have something else to do. So if we run out of this thread, I'll pause us and rethread a new one. But anybody, if you're new here, that's what I'll do if I'm running out and I still want to stitch. My stitch with me's are typically about 30 minutes long. That seems to be a good length for everybody. So everybody tends to like those lengths. I will be diving into ASMR stitch with me's. Those will be like no talking ones. So if you're interested in those, there'll be a playlist starting probably this week, I think. Let me see. There we go. So that will be just the sound of the thread going in and out of my canvas. And it'll be on one particular canvas for now, just to have some consistency. So yeah, I'll be starting that this week. I'm kind of excited about that. All right, looks like we ran out of thread. I'm going to put you guys on pause. Let's do some orange. We'll go over to 13. So bear with me. I'm going to put you on pause, thread a new needle, and then we'll get started on 13. All right, I got it started right here. We're going to go ahead and do my lovely pin stitch. So what I try to do is I try to get it in between all the threads of the Aida as well as the threads of the floss. So if you can do that, as you can see, your stitch ain't going to go anywhere. You can do this on 11 and 14s, but I would suggest 16 and higher, you do like a loop start or railroading, whichever one is fitting at that point. Well, yeah, there we go. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to probably have a playlist strictly for ASMR videos for people that are interested in that. So if you like that kind of stuff, that will be coming soon. And then I will also have a playlist for just tranquil videos where we're stitching together and it's just lovely music. So yeah, I just want to be able to have different varieties for different folks because I know it's different strokes for different folks. So I know some people don't like the talking and I know a lot of people do. So that way there's something for everybody. I really do love stitching like this now. I should have did this sooner, guys, for us. But I like stitching. Like I said, I like stitching in hand. Well, I'm on the couch. I don't like sitting. I like sitting comfortably when I'm stitching. So like right now, I'm in a office chair stitching at my desk with, like, you can kind of see it right here with my frame holder. And it works really great for our stitch with me's, to be honest. So again, we're going to be doing this going forward. Unless it's part of the canvas that I can't get to with the Q-snap, I'll probably do that in hand just to make it easier on all of us. Uh-oh, I got a knot. Let's see. That's been like my going consensus today is I'm not just getting one knot, I'm getting multiple knots. So if I get one, I'm sorry, I would probably have to pause us. But it seems to be going pretty good so far. I've noticed I get knots with the longer strings, and although it would be wise to cut it down, I don't really want to. Because then I feel like I waste way more thread than if I was to get a knot and cut out the knot, if that makes sense. I do let it dangle a bit so that way it can unravel per se. Anyone have any fun this weekend? Not us. I mean, like I said, we just did our Star Wars thing, but that was about it. Not anything too wild. Let's see, what else did we do? We barbecued because the weather was nice. My husband grilled us some food. We went out and got Chinese food because there's these noodles, they're called, I think they're Shanghai. I always get it confused. Shanghai or Singaporean. I think it's Shanghai noodles. They're like these rice noodles that have like curry powder, and they're really flavorful, and you can get them like with any type of protein, and it's loaded like with vegetables. Man, those things are delicious. So I like eating that. I got that with some fried rice. That was yesterday, day before yesterday, and we still have some left over, so I'm probably just gonna have the kids and I eat that for dinner just because I don't want it to go waste. So that's probably what we'll have for dinner is leftover Chinese food. I mean, how can you go wrong with that, right? Leftover Chinese food, guys? You can't. Leftover Chinese food is like leftover pizza. It's not it's not horrible when you warm it up. You know what I mean? Versus like you go out to Mexican food, you have to eat all your tacos. You know what I mean? Like, because otherwise they get like if you have corn tortillas, they'll kind of get hard or stiff. If you have hard shell tacos, if you go to that kind of place, you'll tend to, geez, you'll tend to get soggy tacos, stuff like that, you know? Yeah, I just feel like with Chinese food, like if you have rice and you want to warm it up, like it's a fried rice, just put a damp paper towel over it when you pop it in the microwave, and it rehydrates your rice so it's like fresh again. I learned that from my husband's family. I was like, that's pretty smart. Going forward, I will do that. Mm. The reason why I know that this goes here is because on the edge of this frame, I can tell that it's not printed all the way to the left of that circle. So I know I need to move these over a little bit. That seems to be an issue on some stamped kits. Like the symbol quality is really good, but for some ungodly reason, like it's partially like printed, if that makes sense. Not partially printed. It's like half on the box, and then I have to move it over slightly. Because you see here how this one is like half. It just, you can tell. So say, for example, you didn't know which edge it was. It would make more sense to move these symbols over slightly to the left to be in the box a little bit more. I hope that makes sense. So if I wouldn't have known on the edging, like but over here on the left side, I would have known. I wouldn't have known. And I would have had to check my paper pattern, but I was able to figure it out without my paper pattern. My large koi one, for like the first 80 lines across the top, boy, oh boy, when I tell you, I was like looking at it when I went to go start in the upper corner. I was like, why is this not lining up? So I literally have to use my printed pattern pretty consistently for those first 80 lines across the whole thing. So I did park a lot of stitches on that, and that last week you guys can see the, not last week, this week's that I'm going to do, it's earlier in the week that it posted. You guys can go look over there to see how I kind of maneuvered that canvas. And so with that canvas, it's like, I just really want to take my time with that one because it's really big. And I do want to get it framed and put into on a wall in my office. Yeah, that's the goal for that one. Do you guys have any of your stuff like framed? If so, I would love to see it. If you have some framed and hanging up, or you plan on framing, go ahead and shoot it to me. You can either do it in my Facebook group, which I left the link down in the description and for you guys and in the introduction of this video. And then, or if you want, there's a link also for email for like viewer subscriptions. Sorry, that was my alarm to go pick up my daughter, but my husband is picking up the kids. Because this is one of my filming days, and he's home today. So that's always nice, right? When he's home, like we tend to do like lunch dates and stuff like that. So, but today we hung out yesterday all day together, and the kids kind of did their own thing. Like we're in that new phase of life where our kids are older and they like doing things on their own, right? And I respect that boundary. Um, we do still go out and have family nights and we go out to eat and we go and do activities. But I also understand that my kids are coming into their own person, um, and that they require their own space and their own time for their friends and all that fun stuff, right? So it's like, I hear you, kiddos. Even my 10-year-old, he's going to be 11. He's the same way, guys. Like, I think it's hilarious. Like, my daughter goes, that boy is forever talking to his friends in his games. He's forever talking to his friends on FaceTime. Um, it just cracks me up, like, how much he socializes because I wasn't like that as a kid. I mean, I had friends and I talked to them when I wanted to, but I always found entertainment for myself and solace in my own entertainment. Like, I just like my quiet quality time. I can find, even more so ever since the big O C came around and we all had to stay inside, right? I really enjoyed that, to be honest. It was great. I was like, I do my own thing. No one but my kids and my husband to bother me. Chit chat with my friends when I do. Like, I'm one of those friends. Don't ever, like, think bad if you don't hear from me. I literally just am off in my own world most of the time, doing my own thing. Like, I've never been the type that had to, like, absolutely had to be around people. You know, do you know what I mean? Like, there's those people that have to be around others. I'm not one of those. I've never been one of those. So I've been like that since I was a kid, to be honest. Sorry, guys, I'm putting on some chapstick and taking a drinky drink. Again, I've filmed, I don't know how many videos today. 1, 2, 3, 4. I filmed 5 videos today. Yeah, I'll be actually filming 6. So some days I do post doubles, if you guys didn't notice that. So on good days, I don't have to clear my throat so much. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys didn't know that, on some days I'll post like a review, and then I will post, for example, a stitch with me. Because I know a lot of people like stitch with me's, but they also like reviews, right? So right now with my stitch with me's, this is the only time I'm really getting in on my canvases, to be honest. Where did I put my threader? Hold on, I'm looking for my threader, guys. So this is the only time I'm really getting any time on my other canvases besides my one piece and my koi. So I actually enjoy this time hanging out with you guys. Like, we get to sit here and chat, catch up. I get some work done. You guys get some work done. It's an all-around good thing for all of us, right? So I'll take it. And again, now that I'm stitching this way, guys, it's a game changer. Like, I can knock out whole sections. Now I know why so many people stitch on frames. But I can't stitch on frames holding them. Like, clearly they have to be, like, mounted. But yeah, I would have to say overall, this is working for us. I feel like you guys have a better view of what I'm doing too, so that's nice. It works for everybody, you guys and me. Yep, yep, yep. I just feel like it goes a lot faster. And I like full stitches more than like a half stitch. Sorry, guys. I had to knock that out of my chest. I just felt really dry all of a sudden. So like, for example, when you go half, 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 and then you go back half, 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 I don't like that because I feel like I can't keep my tension proper. And then I feel like my stitches look all wonky. So I'm one of those people that I've gotten to the point where I prefer full stitches now. So yeah, my back might get a little chaotic from time to time, but as long as it looks wonderful on the front, that's all I care about. And my stitches are having a good consistency, which as you can see in the video, like my stitches when I do a full have really good consistency. So yeah, that's what I like to do. What do you guys like to do? Does anybody like to do like the Dutch stitches where it's like half and half? Or are you like me? Do you like full stitches? And then you just work in areas. I just feel like it works better for my type of stitching. And that and the funny thing is on Dutch stitching in hand, I do fine with it. But on frames, on like holded frames, I cannot do very well with it. Unfortunately. Yeah. Okay, so that one needs to go over. Okay, sorry, I'm talking out loud to myself. And I also feel like when I'm doing my Dutch stitches, I feel like I have to pay a little bit more attention to how hard I'm pulling on both sides. Like right now, I'm trying so hard not to pull it so tight. So as you can see, I'm having to be a little bit more conscious of what I am doing when I do those half stitches. So I go a little bit slower just to make sure my consistency is right, like my tension is proper. And again, this will all come with practice for all of us. So if you're new, don't fret about it, homegirl or homeboy, if you're a male watching this. Just practice. There ain't no harm, no foul. There's millions of canvases out there for us to work. See, I'm used to doing my left hand underneath, so when I film, I have to do my left hand on top so you guys can see better. Let's see. There you go. So when I'm stitching by myself, I do my left hand on bottom when I'm not filming anyways. Okay, I'm just going to drop my needle real fast. By dropping, I mean like let it dangle. So that way I don't have any knots in it, not necessarily drop it on the floor, if that makes sense. You know, we got quite a bit done in this little stitch with me. Not too bad. I wonder if I ever did a video over an hour, like how much I would get done. That would be interesting, huh? Probably could get like 200-ish stitches in. See how fast it goes now? And then I don't really get knots because, again, I let my thread hang a bit. And then when I do my full stitches, I'm able to see the tension a lot better. And I feel like with the frame, you can see it a lot better too. You just got to be careful, like right here on this side, right here down the corner. I do have like my Q-snap, this little bar thingy over one of my stitches. So when I go to take that off, I just have to be careful and double check my stitches to make sure they're okay. I am going to order some satin fabric, and then cut it up into strips to put in between my canvases and my Q-snap piece. So that way I hopefully don't have any issues with it pulling. That's another reason why I never really liked frames. I don't want it to pull on my threads and make my stitches look all cockamamie. Yeah. That's another reason why I was kind of steering away from frames for a while, but I do like the quality of my videos a lot more, and I do like the consistency of my stitches a lot more. I think maybe after this video is done filming, I might take a break, quote unquote lunch break, because it is lunchtime around these parts. So that way, I know you can't hear my stomach growling, but I can hear my stomach growling. The funny thing is I have breakfast. And I still have my coffee sitting here, to be honest. I just wanted to get all my filming done to make sure I stay committed to you guys and my channel, as well as making time for school. I have a movie that I have to watch online, so I'll probably watch that tonight while I'm stitching, and then I have to like just do a discussion on it, which is cool. Whatevs, no biggie. And then my final, that's it. This class, it's an ethics class. We did a lot, we learned a lot of different things that affect ethics and like people's beliefs and stuff like that. And but also we did a lot of reviews of movies, like the type of ethical questions that can come up in them, right? So I liked it, but people in my class sure enough can't do discussions very well. So like towards the end of the class, he started opening up the discussions to online, because I'm not sure if maybe people just felt more comfortable on there. But having the discussions in class were torture, guys. Like, I'm the type of individual that likes to have intellectual conversation. So when we're diving deep into a topic like critical race theory and, racism and stuff like that, like, I like having those kind of discussions with people. I like hearing people's point of view. I felt like in the class, nobody really understood how to express their thoughts or opinions without it angering them. And I feel like that's the majority of the world, right? Without angering people and being offensive. And I'm like, you guys do know you can have these conversations without being offensive. You can have these conversations without being angry or making others angry. So for me, I was just like, this is not working for me. So like I told my professor that I didn't like having the discussions in class because there was no intellect behind it. It was no sustenance per se, right? What it was is a lot of bickering. And I'm like, well, no, I'm the type of person, if you start coming at me with opinions instead of facts in those type of conversations, I'm literally going to shut you down with facts. And that's just my personality type. So, um, I was on debate team in high school, and I also am that way at work when I try to get people to understand the consequences of their actions. I don't give them my opinion. In those situations, no, because there's too many things at risk, right? For that situation at hand or that topic. So for me, it was more or less, I like giving facts. I like keeping emotions out of it and feelings out of it, because the moment you try to educate somebody and your anger shows or anything like that, it's an automatic. They're going to just nod their head in agreement with you instead of actually hearing you. So those are things that I've just learned, like in debate team and stuff like that. Like we had a communications class where I had to write a persuasive essay on a very controversial topic. It was physicians assisted suicide. And anybody that knows how much of a hot topic it is, right? So before the debate, we took like a little survey of who believed in physician assisted suicide and who didn't, just to see where the general consensus stood. So I presented my side, and then the other person presented their side. And at the end, the teacher took another survey and was like, who's for and who's against? And the whole thing like shifted. And so the teacher was asking the feedback. So my perspective was for it and the other person was against it. And a lot of people shifted to the for side. And so then the teacher was asking, like, what made you change your mind if you were an individual that believed not in not doing physician assisted suicide? And the majority of the people said is because I came with facts, not feelings or opinions, that I literally gave data and statistics and patient outcomes and views of the actual scenario that was presented to them. So that was kind of fun, but also at the same time, I hope that my classmates learned a valuable lesson that it's not just an assignment, right? Like that's how we have to approach people in the real world too, is we all have indifferences. But what you're not going to do is shove your beliefs down my throat based upon opinion. And that's all there is to it. I'm the type of person where I'm like, if you want me to hear you, you better come with some facts. Like, and not even that, like I'll even entertain your opinions depending on the subject. And sometimes I'll counter your argument with facts of my opinion backed up by facts, right? So that's one thing I love about having conversations with other individuals that understand that a good conversation, even if we have indifferences, is a good thing, right? What I won't tolerate is bullying. What I won't tolerate is name calling. What I won't tolerate is one person thinking they're better than another because of their beliefs. It's naive and condescending at the same time. You're being naive in the sense of thinking you're better than everybody else, and you're also being condescending, thinking that the other person's intellect is not on the same level as yours and that they can't compute what they're being told. So that's how my kids are too. We have discussions like this at home, and I'm very thankful for that. My children are very intuitive, and they're very understanding of how to be receptive of other people's beliefs, but they also know how to let people know, hey, I understand your beliefs. I may or may not agree with them, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, I thought it was interesting for my ethics class, but boy, am I glad for this to be over, guys, because I just couldn't. And then again, maybe it was my class. I don't know. Like, I feel like there was a good mix of people in my class of all ages. Like, there were people my age. There were people in their 20s. There were people in their 30s. I mean, my professor has to be like mid to late 50s. So it's like the blend was there, right, for us to be able to have these conversations. But it was just like, um, just wasn't happening, I feel like. And it's just, I think honestly, our current climate too had something to do with it. People are very weird. I go to a school that's very blended. It's not necessarily one ethnicity over another. It's very, very blended, which I love. But I felt like maybe people didn't feel safe in discussing things just because of our current climate, to be honest. And I hope that changes in the future for these people in my class. because I think a lot of them have good ideas and points. They just don't know how to express them, or they're afraid to express them, unfortunately. So, yeah. And then I start class. Crap, I don't even know, guys. Let me look at my little calendar here. Let me see. What month are we in? May? I start school, so the 12th is my last day, is when my final is, and then I start the 27th for my summer classes. So, we'll see. I don't even know, like, my work schedule right now because of what's going on with school and all that stuff. So, I don't even think I submitted my work schedule. I'll have to check. My bosses are probably going to kill me because I'm going to be messaging them last minute. What day are we on? We're on May 5th. Okay. Yeah, I have my schedule in. Guys, I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on sometimes. It's just because I don't have it on my Google Calendar. I had to log in while we're having this conversation. ADHD problems, y'all. ADHD problems. Um, ooh, my eyes are itchy again. So yeah, I'm looking forward. I think I'm taking human growth and development. So that's kind of interesting. It's a psychology class that I'll be taking. So I am here for it. Is anybody else in school? I know like they're probably the majority of my followers are probably older like me and retired but for me, it's a second career and I like staying busy. I don't want to retire unless I absolutely have to be honest, because I feel like I would get bored too easily. Maybe when I'm done with nursing school, I was telling my husband maybe I'll drop down to PRN and work like 1 day a week just to stay busy and help people. But yeah, I couldn't do that in finances. Like you either work full time or you retire, right? So that's the gloriousness about going into nursing is like you can work as much or as little as you want. I don't know. Again, I only work 3 days a week when I'm not picking up extra shifts and overtime and stuff. So um, I may stay full time because I feel like it's a good balance of me being able to do my crafting and my hobbies and spending time with my kids and I get my chores done and like I don't feel stressed out if that makes sense working 3 days a week. I felt like when I worked in finances, because of the specialty that I was in of finances, I did operations. So I was pretty much on call a lot helping people figure out why they can't balance or why things aren't working out for them. All right, guys, it looks like I'm coming to the end of this thread. So that means that's a wrap for this stitch with me. Let me get this cleaned up and then we'll wrap up our video. All right, friends, that concludes this week 3 stitch with me of our butterfly anime girl. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me today. And again, a big thank you to my subscribers for hanging out with me and sticking around till the end. If you were not a subscriber and you hung out all the way till the end, thank you. I really appreciate you hanging out with me today. If you like this content, go ahead and click that subscribe button so you can get more of my videos. I do post several times a week of Stitch with Me's, as well as reviews and different types of content. If you want to follow me on other social media platforms, I do have a TikTok as well as an Instagram. On those platforms, my user handler name is stitching_with_Steph. And of course, we have that Facebook group again, Stitching with Steph, and that link is in the description. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope everybody has a good rest of your day or night or whenever you're watching this. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.